That's it. Damn, Bones, you're just killing it with the jokes today. Blue Dooley and Bones and his deadpan sense of humor. We're out running some errands today. I decided we should probably film a new intro video for the old YouTubes, as the other one is about 2 years old now. Here we are, January 3rd, 2021. We're out running a few errands today, and I thought I'd just wish everybody, Happy New Year. Check in, see how everyone's doing. Shout out to all of you who have subscribed and follow me on Instagram as well as YouTube. Picked up quite a few followers on Instagram the last little bit of last year, so thanks for that. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should, because not only do I post some RC videos or pictures of projects and whatnot, I also post photos from around the state of Idaho, since I drive truck, and I do end up delivering to some really beautiful locations. That in itself is probably a good enough reason to follow me. Forget all the RC stuff, just look at the beautiful scenery. I don't want to get too heavy into predictions or laying out this year, as the last time I did a video like that, it didn't go really well. Which I believe we all know was the beginning of last year, and nobody's last year went really well. But last year's last year, this is New Year. So, of course, if you've been following along, you know we got started on the snowplow. We got more parts on the way for it. The snowplow is going to take a little bit of a turn. I'm not going to make it a 10-wheeler. So the tires I had in the video I made of it are going to go on the Grand Hauler. In fact, they're already on the Grand Hauler. I'm just going to run 6 tires on the snowplow. Kind of military-esque. I've seen a few photos of the new military Mack Granite dump trucks. Them things look badass. Excuse me. So we'll still be working on the snowplow. The trailer for the CXT, got a little tuning to do on it. Need to do a little finish welding. Grind out some welds, paint it, cut out my wood decking, glue it down, and that'll be done. The next full build, well, truck build, is going to be what I'm calling Project Pocket Change, as 90% of the parts for it I bought with pocket change. I get paid every other Friday, and I give myself a cash allowance for the 2 weeks from payday to payday that I use for like little purchases, because I hate using a debit card for a bottle of Gatorade or a coffee, because I don't drink the expensive coffee. If I spend $2 on a coffee, that's an exorbitant amount of money spent on coffee. I don't drink the fancy coffee, and I'm not going to sit in line at any of the coffee shops here to get fancy coffee. Gas station, buck coffee is good. So that's how I've been kind of saving up for my own crawler. I just absolutely love the way the HPI Venture Ready to Run climbs rocks around the area. I took it out to City of Rocks, which I'll post the link to the video down below. And after I removed the spare tire, it would go just about any place that the other guy's Vanquish VS 410 would go, and the heavily modified Traxxas TRX. If I had the same tires those guys are running, I have no doubt in my mind that stock RTR would have kept up with them. So I'm going to build the scale builder's kit of the Venture. It has a few upgrades like metal links, universals on the front axle, and some brass weights to go in the front axle. Nothing super crazy. but I just like the setup of the chassis and the layout of the chassis. So that's the chassis I'm using. I got some J-Concept rims coming in, some Beadlocks 1.9s. The Mudslingers have performed really well for me on the Wheelie King as kind of a rock bouncer. So I'm going to run some 1.9 Mudslingers on it. And for radio gear, I'll use the Spectrum 4-channel that I've been using in the CXT and the Wheelie King. I'll run the Hobbywing 1080 brushed motor ESC. I love that thing. And a Tekin, probably a 35 turn. I want to put the Wheelie King back to being a monster truck, so I'm actually going to steal some of the running gear, the electronics out of it, and put it in the crawler. I'm not sure what I'm going to put in it for a motor to make it a monster truck again, but something with a little more jam than the 35 turn that's in it right now for making it a crawler. The Grand Hauler, I'm pretty happy with the way that build's going. I'm going to add a lift axle to it. The stock Grand Hauler frame is actually long enough you can put that lift axle between the drives and the cab and have plenty of room. So I won't need to stretch that. It is getting the snowplow's old tires, so I've got the RC 4-wheel drive King of the Roads on it and the super wides up front. The super wides are not glued because they look a little goofy on the narrow rims, so I need to order the wider Tamiya rims for the front. But the stock Grand Hauler or Tamiya semi wheels and tires that I was going to run, and I'll scratch that. The stock Grand Hauler wheels and tires are going to go on the trailer. For the trailer, I've decided, since there's so many flatbeds and reefers and lowboys, I'm going to build something different. Living in Idaho, where we have, well, specifically the Magic Valley, where we have amalgamated sugar, and over in Burley we got a big spud processing plant, as well as a sugar beet plant over there. I'm going to build a belt trailer, which is really common around here for hauling sugar beets and spuds. I think I've also seen them haul barley in it, and believe it or not, I think I've seen them unloading salt with one of them trailers at a DOT place where the snowplows refill. So I think that's going to be an interesting build. The dually, don't wear bones. I won't forget about the dually. Of course, we got to fix the headliner. As you can see, it's rubbing Bones' head, probably rubbing my hat, which is why I always wear a hat, because I hate having stuff rub my hair. But that'll be, you can watch that video and I'll show you how to properly glue the headliner to the inside. The wife is really into sewing and crafting, so I need to sweet talk her into ordering the material I want. And when it's a little nicer out, so we can have the garage door open and still be warm, so we're not breathing in so much aerosol glue foam spray, not foam, we'll do that. With the stimulus checks that I know are still up in the air, how much we're getting, that all that political crap is for a different channel and a different video, because I hate politics. I think they're all crooks. That's my political opinion, if you are curious. They're all crooks. So with the tax return and the stimulus, I'm finally going to get the camshaft for the dually. And before everybody starts freaking out about how so many people at these shops and this builder are making so much more power than I have, and they are running the stock camshaft, I don't care. I'm not building what they're building. I'm not building a truck to just throw on the dyno occasionally and throw down some huge numbers. And I'm not building a truck to be a drag truck. I'm building a truck so it gets good fuel economy and is reliable And when I stomp the skinny pedal all the way to the floor, brings a smile to my face. That's what I want. I don't want some ridiculous, overpowered thing like you see in the magazines or on YouTube. Oh yeah, I daily drive my 1500 horsepower truck all the time. Bullshit. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And I'm sure somebody could prove me wrong, but again, my truck, I'm building it the way I want to. And the correct way would be changing out the camshaft, since the camshaft in this truck is designed to perform best at 215 horsepower at the crank. So I want my truck to breathe better, makes it get better fuel economy, makes more horsepower, the exhaust temps stay lower because the engine is flowing air better. It just makes sense. And the camshafts, I think the last time I priced one, $350. So, need to pick up, of course, a new head gasket because I need to install my head stud still. So that video will be coming up. I'm not sure when, probably March or a little later. I'll have James come by and I'm going to pull the motor, even though you don't need to do either project. It's easier to film if it's not in the truck. And I want to reattach some of the soundproofing and heat shielding underneath the firewall. I need to reglue a little bit of that into place. And then I'd also like to spray everything under there, the frame and stuff. Excuse me. With some undercoating, some underbody protection stuff, just so the truck stays rust-free and will last me forever. Because I'm a grumpy old man and I don't want a new truck with all that electronic crap on it that they come with. So that's kind of what I got planned in for the year. Of course, we'll go out and do some RC crawling with James. I know he kind of wants to build a new rig, so I think maybe we'll see about maybe talking him into building like a rock bouncer out of his deadbolt, and I'll weld up a rock bouncer chassis and cage for him. That'd be a fun little project. And a good excuse to use the welder, because I should use it a little more often, because then I could be better at welding. Hope everyone is having a good weekend. Of course, it's Sunday. Like I said, we're out doing some chores. Again, thanks to all the people who have subscribed and follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. I appreciate it. Love hearing the comments on photos and videos, so please keep those coming. And if you haven't already, do subscribe or follow me on Instagram so you can keep up with all of my shenanigans and builds, misadventures. We'll talk to you later.